Hey everyone, I'm Kelly with the Suburban Soapbox, and today we are making an easy shrimp etouffee. If you've never tried shrimp etouffee, it's a Cajun recipe that's full of spice and vegetables, and it's super simple to make at home. In just 10 minutes, you can have this Cajun delight in front of you for dinner. Let's get started. So first we're going to chop up an onion, and you only need about a half a cup to a cup of diced onion. So we're just going to chop this up into a fine dice. We're going to add a little olive oil to the pan, and I've already had it heating up a little bit. And to that, we're going to add the onion. Just give it a little stir. Next, we're going to chop up a red bell pepper. And you can use any color bell pepper. I just like to use red for the color here because we already have like green with the celery, and then we're going to add some green onions and some parsley. And we're going to dice up the whole bell pepper. And you don't really need uniform chunks here. Like, you can dice it up, but sometimes when I'm in a hurry, I just cut it so that they're bite-sized pieces or smaller. Add that. And then you're going to also chop up one celery stalk. And I like to cut it in half before I chop it because it just makes the pieces a little smaller. And then add all the celery to the pan. Now, while the vegetables are cooking, we're going to make what I call a quick roux. And what a roux is basically just butter and flour, and you cook it down until it's like a golden brown and has like a nutty flavor. And it's actually a great thickening agent to gravies or jambalaya or gumbo. So in the smaller pot, I'm gonna let that butter melt. Once that butter melts, we can add the flour. In the meantime, I'm going to chop up some garlic. I'm gonna do 2 cloves of garlic in with the vegetables. We'll just mince this and get it in the pan, and then we'll go back to making our roux. Put that into the pan. And ignore my terrible knife skills. All right, so now our butter is completely melted, and we're going to add the flour. And you can use a little whisk, or you can use a fork to whisk this together. And we're just gonna cook the butter and flour together over about medium-high heat until there's like a nutty smell and it's like a golden brown. Okay, while we're waiting for everything else to cook, we're just gonna cut up some green onions. And I have about 3. There's really not a lot of measuring going on here. Like, you can follow the recipe, but the more vegetables you wanna put in, the better, I think. And then we're gonna cut up some parsley. Okay, now that our roux is almost done, and just to let you know, it's not super golden brown, but you can smell it, so you know that the flour has already cooked. It's more of a blonde roux than like a super golden roux. So I'm gonna turn that off, and we're gonna add the green onions that we sliced to our onions and bell pepper, and we're gonna leave a couple for a garnish, and then we're gonna add some of the parsley and stir that together. And now I'm gonna give the roux one last whisk, and we're gonna add that. Now, this etouffee dish is a little firmer, not quite as saucy as some of the traditionals that I have seen. If you want to make it more like saucy, so to speak, you can definitely add some chicken stock or some seafood stock or something to make it more of like a gravy. But I like it just like this. So we're gonna add a little bit of cayenne pepper. And you can use about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. We like things spicy around here, so sometimes I go a little heavy on that. And then a little bit of Creole or Cajun seasoning. So now we're gonna add the shrimp and we're gonna cover it and we're gonna let it cook for 5 to 10 minutes. So just mix that together. You can see the shrimp is gonna cook really quickly. You can see it's already starting to turn pink. So we'll lid that up and now we wait. Okay, so now that I have it plated over a little bit of rice, take a bite. So there's so much flavor, a little hint of spice, not too much. You can certainly add more cayenne if you want to add more spice, but it has great flavor, such a great option for an easy weeknight dinner. And just one thing, I left the shrimp tails on. It's not the easiest thing to eat if you leave the shrimp tails on, so you can take them off. I just leave them on for more flavor, adds a little more flavor to the sauce, and the presentation is so much better when you have the tails on. Overall, this is one of my favorite things to make during the week. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to subscribe and like, and for more easy recipes, be sure to visit thesuburbansoapbox.com. Thanks again.